Well, welcome, Thomas and Terri Lynn, as you are stewarding and facilitating this ministry called Vine and Table. Can you tell us a little bit about the ministry and how things have been going?
So we found the big blue house that became our home 4 years ago now, and bought it and started renovating it. It was 100 and some years old and needed a lot of work, and knew that we wanted something to happen here. And by the year later, we had dreamt and prayed and been able to name the hopes for the Vine and Table as being an intentional Jesus-centered community for young adults, so that we would be able to do the work and play and of daily life together, largely centered through the table. We share meals, eating meals together, but also that table sort of being representative of the in-between space where a lot of life-on-life discipleship happens. And so I think the fall was our 7th season of welcoming young adults here, and it has grown and shrunk, and we've added to our family in that time. And so it has gone through a lot of seasons, and I guess built a character to the community over the years. But the focus always has been or continues to be around the life-on-life discipleship, and whether that's through intentional times or just late night conversations in the kitchen, or spiritual direction with Thomas, and creation here. So the garden in our backyard is sort of this focal point of being able to have conversations around caring for, tending the place that we're in, and whether that's like this backyard and the compost pile, or our neighborhood, or all of the world and how we're interconnected. And then hospitality, whether that's to each other and how we do our chores and cook for each other, and make sure that it's a space that everybody feels at home in, or whether that's like hospitality outward, or it used to be, or can still be, though it's different now, in terms of being part of our neighborhood and caring for the well-being of the people around us.
Cool. That's awesome. Have you guys noticed that there's a pandemic happening? I don't know. How has it gone this last year or so?
Yeah. So we went from having 30 people over for dinner in late February, to having no one over for dinner for months and months and months. But when things were kind of starting to unfold, the companionship in the community that we had was complete gift. In the midst of the first lockdown, when everyone was working from home, or who wasn't working from home was laid off, or being able to be on the benefit side of things, where we did have company, we were already in the house, and we could still cook and eat together and
sing together.
Yeah. And as the months went on and things changed and developed, then you have to change and develop with it. And so, a lot of people had to do that changing and pivoting early on, but we haven't had to do that until just recently. This new year, we kind of made a bit of a pivot to the structure of how we live together.
Can you guys just describe a little bit about how you have set up the house?
This house is 3 stories and with a basement. And so our family has our own little apartments, and then there are 3 bedrooms that can fit 4 people on the top floor where we are right now. And then the main floor has a big kitchen and sort of like common space that's supposed to be able to accommodate lots of people and guests. And then 3 bedrooms that could also fit 4 people. So there could be 8 people besides us if we maxed out. And in the fall, we had 6 people besides ourselves. So there was 9 people living here during this pandemic, which was the point at which we were a bit more cumbersome to try to balance the needs and different levels of risk and all the things that we all have to navigate in some way with whoever our household is.
we started wondering and asking if this was the best way to be caring for each other, if there would actually be a better way to tend to everyone by not sharing a table.
And being part of the same household. Yeah.
Giving space for what needs to happen and some freedoms that you have to sacrifice when you live in a house of 9.
And so after Christmas, we made a shift and we blessed 3 of our housemates on their way to new seasons. So 3 folks moved out, which made it possible for Thomas and I and Luliana to live on basically the 2nd and 3rd floor, like in our apartment, because we have a little more space. And then there's 3 wonderful women that live on the main floor. Caitlin, who will be around College Park a little bit virtually, I guess. So she is here. And then Abby and Angela, who are servant partners, interns. We live separately as good neighbors.
There's still that intention and the times that we gather virtually now as a house to check in and pray together, and even the informal ways that we can overlap by making a meal for each other and sharing the table in a different way that maybe mirrors what everyone else has kind of been doing for the last few months.
So tell me a little bit about kind of how you're using this particular space and time.
This imagery of dormancy really came to the front in our own prayers of a plant needing to bed down for winter and put its energy elsewhere so that it can grow again once the season comes for it to grow and flourish. Yeah, that image spoke a lot of peace to the difficulty of stepping away from something that has been so close to the vision of the vine and table of this shared life, but trusting that it is a good thing to be doing to resting and letting things rest so that they can flourish again.
As we can't do some of the things that we set out to do, like offer hospitality at a table, we've focused more on what are the things that we value that we can still focus on. And one of the good gifts of this past summer was being in the garden still. The idea that we've had is to find a way of sharing life here and what would be on our table, which is now in our garden, with other folks who are interested in companioning us through this sort of uncertain phase. So like a vegetable community shared agriculture share, except maybe the value is just as much in the community as it is in the vegetables. So people could just do a one-time payment or a monthly payment and claim their share for the season, and then come the summertime, so in July, August, September, October, when the vegetable garden hopefully is abundant, then they would just pick up shares once a month. We want to do an excellent job, so we'll start in a rhythm that we know we can supply abundantly, and then also for a smaller amount down to basket, pick up like a one-time basket in the fall for folks that wanted to support that way. Yeah, so just vineandtable.ca, and then there'll be a page marked giving.
Yeah.
If you want to get in early, then just register soon. And then we'll send out a newsletter in the summer months so people can get excited.
Yeah, and be updated on how the garden's going.
Yeah, and so what life is like here.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you still want to support us, but don't necessarily want any vegetables, that's still an option as well.
What's the best way that we at College Park can be praying for you guys as mission friends?
It's a blessing just to know that people are praying for you, because even with having people around, it can still feel low. Like I think it's hard to escape loneliness right now, and feeling the pressures of trying to lead well in this new circumstance. I think one of our prayers is for clarity, I guess, not being tied to a particular version of what the next season will look like, and just having enough creative hope to imagine and what things look like moving forward. think clarity and hope.
We sure love you guys and Liliana, and we're grateful for God's faithfulness to you in this season, and to even the heart and dream of Vine and Table. Will continue to journey with you in prayer and creative hope, trusting that God will continue to use you in this neighborhood and this world of His. So thanks so much, you guys.
Thank you.